Well, hello fishing friends, and if you're new here, welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about some fishing gear, and in particular, I'm going to talk about the fishing rods. Let's go ahead and head over to the board, take a look at the rods. Alright, so to view the rods, you can go up to Fishing Tackle, and you can see all of the tackle that you have here. You can bring up your rods here. You can look at the different rods, see all the rods that you've purchased. You can go here to go to the spinning rods, go here to go to your casting rods, switch between freshwater and ocean by switching these two icons. And if you go to float fishing, click on your rods again. Again, you can go to ocean, which you get 2, and freshwater, which you get 3. So on ocean, you get B and A, and on freshwater, you get A, B, and C rods. So good thing to note that you only get 2 per type on ocean and 3 per type on freshwater. And we'll talk about this here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and go to the store. This is where you would buy your rods. Just click on rods here, and you can buy your different rods. As they start off, you start off with C, and they get a little bit more expensive. You got 1,000, 2,000, as you get better rods. I'll go over buying the rods when you're out fishing as well. But you have your saltwater, spinning, and casting right there. And these are the ones that are going to cost you the most. And then, of course, you got your float fishing, where you got your freshwater and saltwater right there. All right. So let's go ahead and go out and do some fishing. And I'll show you a little bit about the rods when we're fishing. Okay, so here we are at our fishing spot. And I'm going to show you how to change your poles and stuff like that, what to do when your pole breaks, and different things, all right? So press your B button to bring up your menu. This will bring up your menu, and this is where you're going to find your fishing poles. It's right under here, under the tackle icon. So just click on this tackle icon if you're on one of the other icons, and bring up your fishing poles. And right now, I am on lure fishing. As you can see, it's highlighted up here as lure fishing. If you want to do float fishing, you can switch over to float fishing. And then to change your poles, all you got to do is click on that pole here, and it's going to automatically put you on freshwater. But if you want to look at your saltwater gear, you can look at it. Just know that if you was to select it, it'll turn yellow and say that this tackle doesn't match freshwater. All right. So back in the old days, you could actually use your freshwater gear on ocean fishing, and that was kind of fun. I'd do that for catching sharks and stuff just to see if I could do it. And I could. It wasn't very easy, but I could. But nowadays, you can't do that. You can't use the wrong gear. As you can see, it's highlighted all yellow. So let's go ahead and click on that. We'll switch back to freshwater, the little river icon up here, and we'll look at our different gear. So we have our rod C, all right? And then you have rod B and rod A. Now, these are for my float fishing. You get 3 rods for float fishing, rod A, B, and C, that you have to purchase separately. You do start off with C. And then to purchase them, all you got to do is just go down here to the store icon, and then you can buy your rods right here. You can do that while you're here or on the big map in the lodge. So let's go back here and pull this back up. Now, as you can see, as you go through here, there's different changes in your action, distance, and durability. Now for power, action, and distance, and durability. Now for power, that's going to be how fast the fish tires. So if you're fishing on easy mode, when you did the tutorial, it shows you that it turns blue and it's tired and you can reel it in faster. Now, when you have a better pole, it's going to make the fish tire a lot faster. Now for action, that is how quickly you can counter the fish's movements. So how quickly you can pull left and right against their movements. And to be honest, I've never been able to figure out how to measure that to show in a video. So we're not going to worry about that one. To be honest, it really doesn't matter. You can counter them just as fast as you can move your arm. So I'm not quite sure how to measure that, or if you know how to measure that, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section and let me know how that could be measured, and maybe I'll do that in a future video. What we're going to focus on today, and these are the main reasons for the different poles, is your distance and your durability. The main one would be your distance. Now, I'm going to put an image up here on the board here up here. And this is going to go show you all the distances here. But basically what it is, every one of these squares is 50 feet. So as you can go back down here, as you can see, rod C, that's only going to cast out 100 feet. So when you cast out 100 feet, if we pull up our pole here, that's going to go just around here. As you can see, there's a lot more fish up here. So you're going to want to buy the better poles so that you can cast out a lot farther than this 100 feet. Now in freshwater, most everything is 250 feet and below. But you know, you want to catch stuff past 100 feet. And you could probably get maybe 130 feet, 140 feet out there with this. But it represents, that's what that represents, is that represents 50 feet per square. Your durability, these represent 200 casts. So each square is 200 casts. So that means every time you cast out and you reel it in, when you reel it in, a little bit goes down. As you can see, if we get up close here, you can see that this square here is split up because I've cast it out and I reeled it in enough to where I brought it down. Once you get all the way down, this is 2, 4, 6, 800 casts, your rod will break. And I'm going to show you that here shortly. So as you can see, you want to try to buy the best gear you can as fast as possible. So go ahead and keep buying up until you can get, of course, all the way to rod A. What I would focus on, of course, you got your float fishing rod A. Focus on that if you like to float fish. For lure fishing, I would not even worry about spinning, going for the spinning rods. What I would do is I would switch over to casting, and I would work my way up to getting that casting rod A. That's going to give you the best durability and the farthest distance. All right. So this gets you all the way out to the 250 feet where those fish are going to be at. So if you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, you got 250 feet. And that's on your fish finder. That's about this line here. That actually is that line there. So fish that are out to this distance, there's every once in a while there's some out there. You would need rod A to get out to those fish. All right. So that's why you want to buy the better poles as you get better and better, as you get more money and you get farther along to where you can unlock those and buy those poles. So let me go back to casting here. Bring that up. And actually, let's get a little closer. So as you can see, this is what a full durability looks like. Let me show you what a almost empty durability looks like. Okay, now let's look to see what it's going to look like just before it breaks. So let's pull this up here. And we have my casting rod A. And as you can see, all the squares are almost completely empty. If we get in really close, you can see just a little bitty blue line right there. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that on the video, but there's just a slight blue line. So that means we probably have about maybe 20 or 30 more casts. So what I'll do is I'll cast it out a few more times, and I'll bring you back right before it breaks. And we'll kind of go over what it looks like when it breaks and the fear that people have that they're going to lose their fish or any of that. We'll get rid of that fear for you. All right. Alright, so now I'm going to catch a fish, just so I can show you what's going to happen when your pole breaks. And one thing to take note of is your pole will never break while you're reeling in a fish. It's only going to break after you've released or kept the fish. So you don't ever have to worry about having to buy a pole ahead of time because you're afraid you're going to lose that epic fish. It's not going to break when you're bringing it in. Another thing to take note of is it doesn't matter the size of the fish, whether it's a small fish or large fish. Your durability is going to go down the same amount either way. It is literally how many times you've cast it out and reeled back in. And that goes with quick returns and just reeling in without a fish on there as well. So those do count against your cast out and reel in. So if you do a quick return, which is pulling the thumbstick back and pulling the line in, that counts as a reel in. So as you can see, my reel didn't break. We got our fish, and I'm going to go ahead and press keep. And there we go. My reel is broken this time. So that means that I've used my reel one or two more times than my pole. So more than likely the next time I cast out, my pole is going to break. So I'm going to go buy a new reel. And to do that, all we're going to do is we're going to bring up our little menu here, and we're going to go to the store. We're going to go to our reels, and as you can see, freshwater casting reel doesn't show bought, means I can go ahead and buy that. And it's 1,000 smackers, and I'm going to go ahead and buy that. So now I can use this again. So let me catch another fish, and we'll see if the pole breaks on the next cast. There we go. I got my pole to break. I did a quick retrieve and got it to break. So there we go. So now our pole's broken. So let me go ahead and bring up the store here. As you can see, under rods, I do have a freshwater casting rod A. Click on that, and I can go ahead and buy that. Okay, and as we can see, the durability is back up to full. And there you go. So now you know what happens when your pole breaks and how easy it is to just go to the store and buy a new one. So hopefully this video helped you, and if it did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.